Gold gave us several opportunities to trade with after our previous analysis. There were a lot of longs and a lot of short opportunities around this area. Why is that? Is because gold has been consolidating between these lines. And last week, it had a huge fall, breaking through this barrier and then testing this previous resistance, which acted as support. Okay. Now, what kind of opportunities we had, and what kind of scenarios and levels which we can talk about in the coming week or coming days, let's find out in this analysis update. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the analysis of gold XAUUSD. My name is Vic. I'm the founder of Vikinsa Capital Management. Thanks for joining me here in this analysis on gold. So before we proceed, let's look at what has been going on so that we can look at what can happen in the coming days or weeks. So if I go to the weekly time frame, what we can see is that overall the market was kind of getting bearish. We can see that we had a huge very bearish pin bar followed by a bearish candle here. Remember what I said in the previous analysis? I said, after this candle, usually the market goes down. However, because of this bullish candle, this thing was nullified. So the previous bearish candle was nullified by the next bullish candle, which meant that, the previous week, the last week, was going to be very, very important. And last week, what happened? The market created a bearish candle. Now, this bearish candle is completing that, rejection pattern which was there. However, there is one thing which has not happened here. So because of this bearish candle, this is bearish engulfing candle. As you can see, it has been able to engulf two candles here. The market is supposed to be bearish. However, you will notice that there is one thing which has not happened. Let me show you this by zooming in. The market has not been able to go and close below. Why? Because over the course of last few hours on Friday, the market pushed higher and it went above this previous level and then came back down to retest this. It come kind of closed exactly at that level. Why is that? Is because it wants to create a confusion in the market, and that is what it is right now. Even though this is bearish engulfing candle, we had a bearish pin bar, so everything looks bearish. However, this thing alone is telling us that we have to be very, very careful, because the market may actually go up and down around this area, causing a lot of confusion. Why? Again, is because we are kind of in going in consolidation, and this is exactly what I meant in the previous analysis, that the market may stay in this consolidation for some time. In this consolidation, which is there on the weekly time frame, we may still get a lot of opportunities, because we rarely trade weekly time frames. We'll have to go to the daily or 4 hour or 1 hour or even smaller time frames. So there can be a lot of opportunities around there. Now if I take you to the daily time frame here, on the daily time frame, this is what I presented to you on the free Telegram, Twitter, and Discord room for FCP traders as well. So let me show you this. There are certain levels, and there was a pattern completion around here. And because the pattern was completed around here, the market pushed higher. And this is exactly what I posted about in our free Telegram. So let me show you here. These are all the levels that I gave you. I'll come to that in a second. Um, Okay, so these are all the levels and the zones, and this was the previous analysis. As I said, there was consolidation coming. Okay, now this is free to join. You are most welcome to join. The link is there in the description of this video, and you will find it on the screen as well. This is Vikinsa FX. This is the only official channel for us. So this is how it has been going. And see, this is the pattern I was talking about. You see, there was an M pattern and it was supposed to come down to this level here and bounce up from here, because this level could actually act as support. There were other things that you can find out. There are other levels how we played around them. You can also look at that in our channel here, if you join there. So the market went up, and what happened? The market actually closed right there. You see, this is the previous support. The market closed below, went up, closed above, and now closed above this, which means that markets can be bullish here because the market is now still above this, and this is still acting as support. So what was this? This is kind of fake breakout so far. Okay, and this is on daily time frame. So there are few patterns which evolved during this, like, in this entire price section which we have seen. And what are those patterns? Let me go to even smaller time frame. So far, this was the pattern that I showed you last time, and we were able to trade this. I presented that in the previous analysis, and also I've been posting about it on Telegram, Twitter, and Discord room for FCB trained students. So this W became kind of M pattern, and the market went up, and now it is coming back down. On Friday, it had another jump here. Okay, so what can we expect? But before we do that, let's look at the levels that I gave you, levels and the zones that I gave you. Okay, because you will be able to see the magic of FCP analysis. These are all the levels, and these are all the zones that I gave you in the previous analysis, and see how accurately these sort of work. So the market was supposed to come down, and I always say that you need to look at one level at a time. There was a reaction here, there was a rejection from this area, from this area, from this area, from this area, as you can see, and there is consolidation happening around this area as well. So on Friday, the market came down to this level and jumped up. Now if it continues to go up, this is still a resistance area, because you see support and broke through it, and then now it should act as resistance. If it does not, then so one of these levels, like in all of these levels, are going to act as support and resistance ultimately, right? So I'm going to post this chart in the free Telegram channel, which is with Vikinsa FX. So you're most welcome to join there. But these are all like higher time frames, high probability levels. There are fine-tuned levels present in my premium analysis report. If you are interested in ordering one of that, you should find a link to that in the description of this video, or you can contact me on link on the Telegram. Okay, so what can we expect now? So there are two three scenarios which can happen in terms of the patterns, right? In terms of these WNM patterns. Okay, first of all, you should see that the market is still bearish here on smaller time frame, and on Friday the market continued to go up. It came into this resistance area and then fell down, and now it is doing something like this, which makes us wonder that the market could be actually forming a W pattern like this, which can push the price towards this area, or if it is forming a bigger W pattern, then it can actually push the price even all the way to around this area. Okay, and if the market, but for that to happen, it needs to go and violate and basically confirm breakout above this, which is like the previous high, approximately 3260. So these two W patterns can be valid only if the market has broken and confirmed the previous high. Okay, now remember what I always say, that you should always look for all the scenarios which are available in the market, because as a trader, your job is not to predict. As an investor, your job could be like, to predict or like, try to get a market direction right. But as a trader, what you should do is just find the scenarios, find the levels which can act as support and resistance, and then if and when the price comes to those support and resistance areas or levels, you wait for the confirmation and you take the trade. Okay, so this is the bullish scenario that we have got. Okay, now in terms of the bearish scenario, what can happen? The market so far, you see, this was like another resistance area which I showed you earlier. Let me show you once more. Okay, so this is kind of resistance area around here, this one. Okay, so if the market does not actually go beyond this and it does not violate like this, we can have something like this, a possibility. Market may create an M pattern like this on smaller time frame, and it can also create an extended M pattern. Okay, which can bring us to approximately 3150 or so, or then this one can be 3100 approximately. Okay, so these are the two levels, these are the two zones which can reach. Okay, if the market continues to fall even beyond that, then we have even bigger possibility of a bigger M pattern forming, which is something gonna be like this. Okay, and that can bring down to near about approximately 3000 level or so. Okay, so these are all the scenarios and possible levels that you may like, you may find interesting. Okay, so this is what I had for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this analysis and found this useful. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with other traders and trading communities. That will help us a lot. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Find and follow us on these social media channels.